Barb McLachlan was last year's runner-up in women's 5-pin play of the Canadian Bowling Championship and has a chance to take one more step against Castlegar BC's Shelly Stoushnow. McLachlan will throw first after she bowled the 316 to Shelly Stoushnow's 261. Boy, it's almost like she dropped it, but still managed to get it out at her target.
Got away with that one a little bit, but she's been, anytime she's hit the middle, even a little bit on the side, she's pretty much carried strikes. So she's got some good action going on. Shelly wanting to match up here. Off to the left on the first ball. That's where she struggled the first couple of frames against Joanne Nadeau last time, and then got settled in and threw 4 consecutive strikes. So see if she can manage to convert the spare. Good lift, a little off balance, but a good result.
Well, she started off a little slowly. Remember, in her preliminary game, she opened with a couple of spares and then rattled off 4 in a row.
And that's the big thing. Minimize the mistakes. If you miss the middle in the first ball, really work on that conversion. Better looking shot, but straight down the pipe for the head pin. And if you're going to get one, getting it early is not a bad spot. That 9th frame is pretty deadly, as we saw in the other games. So she counts 20 on her first frame. And a miscue here by not picking up the left side. Probably the best she's going to hope for is a 12 count now and a 32 pinfall total through her first 2 frames. And it won't be that much.
No, and this is where the sports psychologist would step in and say, now, Shelly, you have to park it. You have to just forget it. It's done. It's gone.
Right, and the good part for her is she does get to sit down now. The bad part, she's got to watch Barb. She's got that first strike working. Looked very good on the first shot. Watch for the balanced finish. Steady head. And then the reach with the arm, just like that. And look at the kicks and the action she's got going on. Continues into the second game, 2 consecutive strikes. This ball just works itself onto the middle. It's full, but watch that pin just nudge it back. Little coaxing from Barb. There's the double. Opportunity to move well out in front now if she can fit this one on the side.
Yes, 3 in a row to start for Barb McLachlan. So picks up the 45 in the first frame, so has a 25-pin jump immediately.
And this one, good work and shot here. She's got lots of good action on the pins, and they're just getting out of there in a hurry. Shelly now needs to get something started. And another little push off to the left side. So forced to try to convert the spare and then get settled in. Now the big part here is where the pins game you ran into trouble with, you would be down 3 frames to nothing right now. You're still alive in this format.
But she's got to make some adjustment here, whether it be a mental adjustment, maybe it's from a physical point of view, the way she throws, but has to do it in a hurry here.
Exactly. Now's the time to make the change. Struggled through these first couple of frames. Haven't really thrown a good ball yet, outside of the conversion in the first frame. Misses here, so she's left pins on the lane. Needs to try something now. You might speed up. You might slow down a little bit. You might throw the ball farther out in the lane. You might play a different line. But you have to do something.
Shelly, who is an insurance agent for Anderson Insurance in Castlegar, which is in the BC interior. It's about 3 hours south of Kelowna. And that's another head pin for her. So she's had 2, and both on this lane.
Yeah, she's been right dead on the nose on this side. Now, she needs to cover these pins off. Again, a miscue. So leaving pins on the lane, while Barb McLachlan, of course, has been perfect through the first 3 frames, leaving these pins just doesn't sit well in your mind. You're not hitting what you're aiming for. So, got to get this replaced. That's a better shot, 12 count, and 53 through 4 frames. Barb McLachlan, on the other hand, has 90 pins right now without throwing a shot.
Barb bowls at the Bowlerama in Stony Creek, Ontario, which is just on the outside of Hamilton on the way to Niagara Falls.
Should take her time on this one. Throw one good ball here. Really, really force Shelly into pressure and pushing. Doesn't quite get anything off the middle. First miss.
Asked you about Shelly and having to, not think about the way she's playing. But for Barb too, she has to not think about her the way she's playing Shelly. I mean, she's got to keep focus on her game.
Right, she's got to avoid complacency. So she misses with the first one, pulls it across on the second one. The result's going to be an open frame, and what could have been a huge margin, just all of a sudden there's a ray of hope for Shelly. Does she get it with this one? Yeah, finally, just manages to snag it for the 15 count. So right now she's ahead by 67 pins, 120 through 4 frames compared to 53. But that open frame just stopped that pinfall from mounting up on her side and gives an opportunity for Shelly to climb back in it. Of course, Barb is going to have something to say about that with this shot.
All right. Wow, very nice, great splash. And she recovers from her open frame to pick up the strike here in 5.
Better shot again, this time into the right pocket. No question about it. Ball tags off the right corner. Pins take care of the left. Sets the strike on the table as she leads off in 5.
But as you say, the opportunity is here now for Shelly, yes, to respond. And that's what she has to do, is match Barb McLachlan with everything she throws, and maybe hope for a break, maybe a miss by Barb.
Right, just stand a corner or something. Let me throw strikes. You stand a corner here or there. She coaxes this one in, and the big part is she finally delivered a decent first ball and got a good result.
And it's too easy to say, and you hear it all the time, and she misses the head pin. You're never going to get it all back at once. You have to sort of nibble. And in this case, it's nibbling one frame at a time.
Exactly. Just got to keep chipping away at it, even if it means, this kind of thing where you had a strike and got it set up to go. Got to keep that spare attitude. This match is not finished yet, and now she compounds the error and is going to have an open frame here in the 6th.
Should mention to you the money involved. We've talked about the $10,000 that goes to the winner as we look at Shelly's husband Lyle. Our losers in the preliminaries, both Holly Chakowski of Winnipeg and Joanne Nadeau of Alexandria, Ontario, both took home $250. The loser of this game will take home $1,000. Of course, the winner moves on to play for the potential $10,000.
Big difference in dollars here. So here's where Barb wants to really drive it home. Just let the ball out of your hand. Gets the chop off, a little light on the first shot. It's going to pick up the pinfall. now set up. You move just maybe a fraction over to the right side of the approach. Use the angle to try to carry off the left 3-2. And she does it successfully. Yeah, exactly.
Nicely done.
So she's got 150 pins through 5 on a 300 pace. Almost double what Shelly has.
Yeah, her TSN average 243. Her high game 408.
When she's hit it on the side of the head pin, there hasn't been any question about what the result's going to be. Just a strong, strong working shot. Moves its way across. Good reach, good balance at the finish, gets down low. Watches this one tack onto the middle for the strike as she leads off 7. Okay, potential 271 game for Shelly.
That's a little reason to smile, but she really does need to pick it up and then hope for some mistakes from Barb.
Exactly. She has to take this one off the board now. So, needs more shots like this. Fit it on the side of the head pin. Reach through it. Just kind of trust the shot at this point. Good result here.
There you go. Trust it.
So 271, the best that she can do. Got to throw more shots like this. Take it off the game. Got 9 and 10 left to play. Barb's potential right now, 360. Off balance there and got away with that one a little bit. As I said, she's got a target like about 3 feet wide right now. Just anything on the middle is going to work for her. Just loses her balance a fraction. You can see her just bounce over on the left side of her heel. But the great result at the other end. Second consecutive strike.
But, you know, look, we've seen it. I've seen it in curling in particular. Other games where you take aim. I mean, we've seen pitchers in baseball get away with it. She left the left side. But you can get away with it if your follow-through is at the target. Whatever you do. Think about golf.
Yeah, if you've done the other things right.
Wherever it's where that head pin meets the ball. Or the head pin, where the club meets the ball, right? You can take it and twist it and throw it over your shoulder as long as it comes down and meets it.
Ask Jim Furyk. It's all over the map back there, but it's
Couples
square.
is another great example, right?
But it's square when it
Trevino.
There we go.
Nicely done.
Good cover. That cinches her moving on.
Yeah, she's just playing too well.
She's got 268 right now without throwing a shot. The best that Shelly can do, 271 should she strike in 9 and 3 strikes in 10. But she'll go home $1,000 richer.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's her 4th miss on the middle with the first ball. Just way too many. You got to figure you're going to make a couple of mistakes in the match. Your opponent's going to make a couple of mistakes in the match. Right now, Barb's mistake, 1 back in the 4th frame. And you just can't give a player of that caliber that many
chances. She has a great attitude, it seems to me. She says, you know what? I can't blame anybody else. I'm the only one out there on the lane. When I win, I take credit. When I lose, it's my fault.
Exactly. You pretty much center stage. That's a good ball. You can just see it in the release. Two more shots to come in the 10th. That ball right over the middle arrow, tracks into the left pocket. No question about it.
And she knows. I mean, it's funny how the mind plays.
Yeah, it just relaxes, and now you just roll the ball. There's another one. It's a little short on this one. She kind of skipped it at the line there. She can finish up with a 216 game with a spare. Just under $5 a pin. There it is. Nope, right on the nose. 211 game.
She'll take home the $1,000 as our runner-up here in the quarterfinal. That's a 50-pin difference for her between her opener and her second game. First appearance, this lady's going to be tough to beat. Last year's runner-up.
Guarantees the 300 plateau again. She's so consistent in her delivery and her setup. Doesn't take a long time up there. Focuses in on the target and then executes.
Oh,
string
come on, there it goes. There it goes.
No way she wasn't getting that one. It was just too good a ball.
Watch how this just wraps around before the string helps.
Just patience. Patience. It's everything. One last strike. 328.
Oh,
not quite. 318.
Well, that's even 2 pins better than what she threw in her opener. 316. Wow. Barb McLachlan from Mississauga, Ontario, will advance to the semifinals and put herself in position again to win the Canadian Women's 5-Pin Bowling Championship.